Could it? I don't compete, so if she talks again, I will stop. And Seb, I would suggest that you do the same. Welcome back to the main stage here at Autosport International. We like a British motorsport story at Autosport International. We've just had one, the upsurge in McLaren's fortunes in 2019, and fingers crossed they will continue in 2020. We've got a bit of homegrown talent on stage now with a story to tell. Delighted to welcome somebody that I've known since he was about that high, doing Ginetta Juniors, Seb Morris, who this week, everybody, has announced something that, as a British driver, would make you rather proud, I would imagine, Seb.
Yeah, thank you, and very nice to be here. I hope everyone's having a great day. So, yeah, it's been a pretty good week in the office this week. Signed with Bentley officially as a Bentley Boy. So something I've been working on all my life to get to this level where I can finally say I'm a professional driver racing cars all around the world.
Which is a pretty amazing feat, but it's what you've been working at for many, many years. These things don't just happen today. A lot of work goes in behind the scenes. I mentioned that I've known you since you're a young lad competing in Ginetta Juniors, winning races, doing very well in your first year of car racing, but it goes back further than that. There's a lot of work goes into this.
Yeah, I mean, well, myself, my mum and dad have been working on this since I was 8 years old. All happened by accident, really. I went to a go-karting party, which was my party when I was 7 years old, and the guy at the circuit said to my dad, he said, this guy's got something special. And good job, because I can't throw or catch a ball.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It was that simple, it was a birthday party?
Yeah, so it happened completely by accident, and then from then on in, we went, mum and dad took me to my first professional karting track, and I got lapped in my first race and crashed about this far in front of my grandma and granddad being lapped by the leaders. But the following year won the championship.
Oh, incredible story, and one that I didn't really know. Did you have an interest in motorsport before then?
Yeah, I've been interested in cars, so my parents had to deal with me jumping in anything with four wheels I could possibly get my hands on, and I would scream if I couldn't get in it, you know, a go-kart, a fun fair or something like that. And I was immensely competitive from an early age. I mean, I would not, you know, even when I was a little kid, I'd hate losing, and I'd had that built into me, had the love of cars built into me, and that was it, the rest is history.
Did you stay in touch with the guy at the indoor karting circuit that said he's got something special? Do you know who that person is?
No, we don't know actually, but it'd be good to get in contact with him, but you know...
No, it won't, he'll be needing a cut.
But yeah, we've kept in touch with everyone who started off my career, so even the very first mechanic I had, a guy called Alwyn, then my first mentor Bob, and then on to Tony Theodore, and my dad sent them all emails and text messages just saying, you know, because they've all played their part in this massive journey. I mean, it's been 16 years, believe it or not.
I'll tell you who else has played a massive part, and it's Stuart Parker.
Yeah.
And I noticed on Twitter when you announced this week you're going to become a Bentley Boy, hugely proud moment for any British racing, for any driver anywhere in the world, but particularly for a British driver. But Stuart and Team Parker Racing have played a huge part in your career, post-single-seater, if you like, haven't they?
Yeah, well, Stuart gave me a massive opportunity because basically we had a year in GP3, and we'd run out of money basically. We signed with a team that we couldn't perform with, and in racing you're very quickly forgotten. And I was nearly down and out, and Stuart gave me this opportunity to come and join Bentley with Rick Parfitt Jr. And having qualified the best of 10th or 12th in GP3 and struggling to get in the points, I turned it to my first race in British GT with the best drivers around the world and stuck it on pole by half a second. So I knew I hadn't forgot how to drive.
How old are you now, Seb?
I'm 24, so I feel a bit older.
24 years old, so still a very young man, and this is the professional turning point of your career, isn't it? You've been driving at a professional level for many years, but it's your job. It's what you're being paid for. That's another level completely, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the level up from something like British GT into what we're doing now with the Intercontinental World Championship, it is massive, and with Bentley, the level they expect of you is massive. You have to represent the brand, you have to do all the PR stuff, and when you're at a racetrack, you don't just drive anymore. We're all over the place doing all sorts of different things over the weekend, so it's very busy. But what I've been trained for, with Andy Merrick for the BRDC Superstars, which I was really happy to be a part of still this coming year. It's been every single person in my team, I call it Team SMR, has their job, and everyone's done their job to the best of their ability, which is why I'm here now.
There's a lot to be said for Ginetta Juniors, isn't there? In a couple of moments we're going to be chatting here on the Autosport main stage to Lando Norris, who also another driver that I was interviewing when he was competing in his first year of car racing. It's a great little stepping stone between karting and car racing, is it? What makes it such a good first step into car racing?
Ginetta Juniors was amazing for me because people stick around in karting until they're 16, 17, and it's that they live in their own little world and they think that's the be all end all. And luckily, you know, myself and my team around me made the decision to start. I had a test in a Formula Renault car when I was 13 years old, which is not very legal, but I did it anyway, and I had to make a seat this big. I was only 2/10 off the guy that had finished third in the championship in the UK that year. So we thought, let's just go and try it. So we went to Ginetta Juniors, and you go from just being at little kart tracks to instead you're following the British Touring Car Championship round. You're all around the UK. You've got 40,000 people at each race, and you think, yeah, this is the right decision. And Lawrence has done a fantastic job with it.
This is Lawrence Tomlinson, the chairman of Ginetta Cars, who also is a big petrol head himself. So he gets into cars and drives them rather well as well. So that's the start of your car racing career, and then you got this opportunity to drive in GT racing. Were you, obviously you were doing GP3, so you were thinking maybe potentially a Formula 1 career was beckoning out.
Yeah, I mean it was a tough decision, but one I sit here now and I'm immensely proud and happy I've made, because we had an investor that was due to put about £4.5 million into my career. Us as a family, we sold everything. Parents sold the house. You know, I will never ever be able to thank them enough. They're here today somewhere. But we had an investor pulled out at the end of GP3, and that was it. I knew that the F1 dream was over, which we tried everything we could. And then when Stuart gave me this fantastic opportunity to say, right, come and race for Bentley in British GT and see what you can do, then going on to win the championship, and now being a factory driver, I've definitely made the right decision.
I was going to say that was the highlight of your career, but I think the highlight of your career was when you were contacted by Channel 4 and asked to go on Celebs Go Dating. Surely that was the highlight.
It was the highlight being asked to go on, but I didn't get much luck. So if there's any ladies here anywhere.
You're a Bentley Boy now, so
that might help.
It's a game changer. You might even get asked back on Celebs Go Dating. Can I just ask, because as a professional racing driver and somebody that's used to talking to the media, what was that experience like? Because that was the showbiz part of what you do, wasn't it?
It was very different, and it's one that I don't regret doing. I mean, it was quite cheesy and, you know, somewhat staged, but it gave me a much bigger platform than what I'd ever be able to get doing what I do in racing. I mean, I got 60,000 Instagram followers overnight after the first episode, and got loads of sponsors, you know, in touch, and people wanting PR opportunities and things like that. And it helps with the racing having a bigger platform, because people like Bentley want someone that can represent their brand not only on track but off track. So yeah, it's definitely helped.
I'd never watched the programme before, but I watched it because I've watched all the episodes now of every series. Fantastic series. And not just me, Matt James, also the editor of Motorsport News. Over breakfast this morning, he confessed the same to me. So there you go, you're responsible for quite a few new fans. So when does the season get underway for you, Seb, as a fully fledged Bentley boy?
I made a seat yesterday, which was good. So it always feels like when you make your seat for the year, you think, oh,
it's real
really
now.
Getting going now. So we're off to Australia in 2 weeks, off to Bathurst for a 12-hour race. Never seen the track before, so I'm trying to get on the sim before, and we're doing no testing, so I'm literally going to...
You have sim facilities at home, do you?
No, I'm going down to base performance, but I've never been to the track, and we've got no testing, so I'm expected now to just get there and get straight up to speed with walls everywhere, so I'm looking forward to it.
So pleased for you, Seb, and wish you the very best of luck in this, the first of many years as a professional works racing driver. Delight to have you with us, everybody. Seb Morris. Well, I mentioned that Lando Norris is coming up on the main stage. You have 4